Welcome back to the shop on the channel. You'll note that I am not working on the new violin and thickening the plates, tuning the plates, because another tiny issue has been found with Mara's daily. This is her daily violin. This is her special event violin. We'll go into that a little bit later. But after I finished the work on this and we got it all back together, it plays a bit better than it did before. So I got the sound post in the right place and the bridge is mounted correctly. You know, you can see the really nice pegs on there and the tailpiece on there now. So what's the problem? The problem is when she was playing her antique violin, while I was working on this, she realized the action on this violin was far lighter than the action on this violin. And I'll give you a quick look what I'm talking about. See if you can see this in camera. Look at the height of that G string right there. See that? Okay. That's actually about 7 or 8 millimeters. Look at the height of this G string. That's about 3 to 4 millimeters. The industry standard starting point is 3 for the E string or the high string and 5 for the G string or the low string. So how am I going to fix this? Well, first thing I want to do, I want to get, the story of this. This is a 19th century copy of a Testori, of an 18th century Testori violin. It has a Testori label in it. But we had this some mild repairs done on it by a local expert violin shop, and when they had it apart and were working on it, they said, okay, it's not an original Testori. It's a very good violin, but it's not a Testori. And they gave us a appraisal, which I'm not going to talk about because that was 20 years ago, and I don't think what this thing's value, what thing is this is valued at now. Even, excuse me, just had lunch. Even though this is a copy. But it's a very good copy. See, Testori had one of his trademarks was the back of the scroll didn't have these curvature, these cutouts here. The back of a lot of his scrolls were flat like this, and I even duplicated that. So let me get this out of harm's way because I don't want to hurt it. Okay, that's out of harm's way. So how am I going to fix this? Well, the way to fix this is you shorten the bridge. How am I going to do that? I purchased some tools. You know, it's amazing how cheap violin working tools can be. I purchased some tools to aid with that, and I'll show you what they are. First and foremost is a metric scale. This is 1 to 150 millimeters, so it's 15 centimeters. But we're only worried about what's down here at the 1 centimeter end. And then there's this bridge gauge. It's got a lot of little marks and things on it. It helps you set bridge heights and shapes and all that. But what's really important is this bridge setting tool. This bridge setting tool, you put it on the violin and you crank this little knob out until this part here climbs up and you reach the height that you want here. Then you take it out, mark your original bridge where to cut it, and then trim it off, or use a chisel and stuff, and re-notch it for the strings and put it back in. I also will have to probably re-thin it, take some more off the top of the bridge, because this is about what you want on the top of a bridge. It's about 1 millimeter, a little less than 1 millimeter. So, step number 1 is loosen the strings and remove the bridge. So let's loosen up the strings. Okay, and remove the bridge. And then I'm going to mark on this. No, I'm going to mark on here. Let me get a pencil. I don't have a pencil. That's a dumb thing not to have. There, I got a pencil. So I had to dip under the camera. So what I want to do is mark where the strings go on this bridge at the correct angle down the bridge surface. That tells me where I need to notch the new well, not the new bridge, but after I shorten this one, that tells me where I need to notch them. Actually, it's the other side because this is the flat side here. This is kind of critical stuff, they say. I'll believe it. Gotta find it. There it is. Because the E string is a very, very tiny notch. All right, so I have marked it with pencil marks. So now I'm going to put this under the strings. Oops, gotta get this down. Under the strings, like that. Set it where it belongs, which is right about there. Set the strings about where they belong, like there and there. Start and tighten this up a little bit. And these strings don't have to be full tune tight. All right, so this is what we're talking about here. Now I can make adjustments to this, which will in turn get the strings down to where they need to be, which is about 3 millimeters on the E string and about 5 millimeters on the G string. So let's measure what we have here now. I would do this on camera, but it's difficult to see. Okay, that is 3.5 millimeters. That is 5.5 millimeters, which is like the, take it down just a little bit more. So that is now 5 millimeters on the G string. You know, the old eyes, it's like, and 3 fat millimeters on the E string side. So that's the height of I want the bridge. So my next step is to take this out, put the old bridge back in just to keep tension on it. I don't want that sound post to pop out again. So I've got the old bridge here. Do the loosening thing. So that'll maintain tension. On the top of the violin, which will in turn maintain tension on the sound post. So let's put this out of harm's way. I'm going to walk around the camera again. Okay, so now, let's see. Yeah. That line is not easy to see. Let me mark that again. There we go. So now I want to take this, and this is asymmetric, as you can see, just like the bridge is asymmetric, as you can see. And I'll put this, line this up, like so. I got that right? And let's mark that. Okay, that's a lot on the... This is why you have multiple bridge blanks, because if you screw up, you have the opportunity to do it again. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to go take this over to the sander and take it just about to that line. And then we'll come back and I'll do a little bit of planing. And then we'll re-notch it, put it back in the violin, and let Mara play it and see what we come up with. So, catch you in a bit. I've got this trimmed out pretty much. I think I did a measurement quickly, and I've got about another half a millimeter take off of the G-string side, and I'm going to do that with an X-Acto knife. A little bit. Just peel this off a little bit here, and then I can sand it. There we go. Take that. There's a little bit of a rise there I don't want either. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's maintained its thickness here, which is, I didn't take enough off to do that. And now I'm filing, you can't see it. Maybe you can. That's the needle file that's used for doing the string notches in the nut and in the bridge. So this is diamond coated thing. A little bit thick, wider as I go towards the G string. And then I want to take this a little bit of, there's a pencil mark I got to get off of here too. And that's done. So the bridge, the new bridge is pretty much done. So I brought Malari back on stage, and I have to take off the temporary bridge. Not the old bridge, excuse me, the old bridge that was holding tension on the strings, put the new bridge in place, and this will be done again. And then I take it to Mara and let her play it, and she tells me what she thinks. So let's loosen the strings here a little bit. There we go. And take the new bridge. And it's that sound post has to go back just a little bit, I think. But let's do a quick measurement. 5.5 millimeters, just where I want it. Okay. It's not tuned up. There we go. It's not tuned up, but I got it tight. I think we need some more yeah, 5.5 millimeters. So there's this little stuff you can get for the tuning pegs that gives you more friction. This one and this one are a little bit loose, and I think Mara has to put more of that stuff, squidgy stuff on there. So, yay! I think we're done. The old bridge goes in a little hiding pocket. So that ends, well, it doesn't end this video. I'm going to go have Mara play it and do her thing, and then I'll come back and give you a yay or a nay. Well, Mara is very happy. It sounds better to her ears, and she likes the action much better now, which is cool. Now, I've not played a violin since I was 14 years old, and this is set up for her, not for me, so I don't know. Oh, it's bizarre. Oh. Yeah, that sounds better. It has kind of a booming voice, hence the name Malari. If you know Babylon 5, you know what I'm talking about. So, as I said earlier in the video, I'm going to go more in detail on putting the sound post in place and shaping and cutting the bridge. Because that bridge, my friend calls it a faux baroque. I like that. It's going to be a faux baroque. It's different than the bridge on this. Not by much, but it's a bit different. So, Onward, downward, upward, I don't know. Until next time, make great things out of wood.